This is me sharing some stuff. This is where I was years ago. Currency kamikaze. It's just a metaphor. Words playing with themselves. However you want to take that. This is a 2-part poem, Currency Kamikaze. They have to kill men like me. Men like me believe money will always get in the way of potential and progress, will never reflect what we get from freely giving, will forever keep us conforming and killing and kidding ourselves into believing we're spending our time wisely, multiplying numbers that mean nothing surprising rising, just the inevitable decimals of manipulated crimes creamed into financial food as fulfilling as toothpaste, as good at spilling as spoons, plates, operated by humans who hate half the work they have to do because that is just the attitude that money's music dances to, saves up, advances through. But bank trust ain't what can cut us from this planet's tools, as the youngest want to trust us but haven't one reason to agree with the actual everyday set-up way that has us move, frustrated as animals that wish they could think like woman and man can do, but don't, or do they, on Monday or Tuesday, on payday or pray day or pray day or proof day. Truth is trivial, their concerns individual. They're one turn, one shot, one chance, temper ruled. 2. At Incensed Institute, I instinctively believed in me and no one else. Wasn't like money was going to help plant crops of knowledge in my brain, cook food for my stomach, get my family to fit inside life's love's picture frame. Because once confronted, money crumbles like the coward it is, a ridiculous pit of shame. Getting them to do what they never did before we'd wish the same as them animals that haven't reason but have brains breathing and limbs leaping and men believing they reign. I almost feel like I shouldn't have shared it, but it still was fun as far as some of the words were concerned. But at the end of the day, we'll learn our way. I mean, we created a game. People prosper from it in their own special way. Like T.I. says, you know what I'm saying, unhappy with the riches because you're piss poor morally. So at the end of the day, it's like Oprah says, you know, money only makes you more of what you already are. So at this point, I'm more of for playing this game in a loving way, and what we have set up, it's already been set up. Only thing that will dissolve it is a true love that evolves itself to each person individually. In the meantime, I'm going to find a way to, prosper in my own special way. Like I tell people, I'm the richest poor man on the planet. It's a beautiful thing. Blessed, truly. Anyway, on to the next one. Still, it's actually, this one is connected to that one in its own way. This one I was going through what I was going through, figuring out what I was figuring out, but I wrote down what I wrote down, so this is continuing. Poorception. Name of the poem is Poorception. Play on the word perception, of course. I believed in poverty like God personally put in the permanent order for my poor and poorer. Like I was never meant to cross America's borders and take on this war-whipped world and all that it offers, outside of my mouth, my curled-up corners, my pushed-shut coffin, my call-out can't call in. Paranoid I can't afford genuine joy because what does it mean? When blessed with an extremely dreamy talent, when expected to balance that mad madness within myth's machine, when on my journey all my life learning I need money to complete one's trip to the next, standing under gate X, I forsake yes and expect no, because my dough is low like never going to rise, exploding like ovens inside. But because I love them, my pride is a reloaded loaf of bread clogging commodes, countless toilet bowls collides with questions of, how am I to be who I am as a capable, cable-pulled man in this manipulated made-of-wool mess? And having this humiliated heart, unable to pass big bucks, I give up on getting rich and write and read till I feel illiterate. Fatigued from feeling incriminated, pondering beyond these things that man created, to get away with murder's music and a burdened suit kiss, suitcase of soup they serve like syrup. Slow kitchen courage, linoleum floor flourished by green graves growing our verdant purses and pockets and washed up wallets, and I watch as a witness, a sideline blemish, with my mind and its consensus, Consensus? Really? You gonna do this in the middle of your editorial? You're gonna keep this, you know that, right? Anyway, and I watch as a witness, a sideline blemish, with my mind and its consensus against this planet's pompous, pretentious privilege, getting ghetto kids to live this suicidal and sick, and sickened by the sickness which is premised by pretending we must buy and sell and invent new business to rule religious, to glue our glitches. Oh, the immenseness of how many imaginations censored, like we don't have many miracles in us willing to work with our every endeavor restricted, to optimize that God inside, and downsize that sound inside that makes us sound like victims. Fake as phony bones, moaning and groaning, breaking against foam fences. Relentless as rent is when all of our skin is rented like tuxedos, us people. When will we get it? Guilty is our filthiest riches. Value depends on how bad you want to get this, to spend this, specifically splendid. Hustle on the side, horrific. More gifted than horrible we are. Free cars, houses, humbled hybrids with all of God's water and food. And with these ultimate tools, we can afford the fools that taught us all to move when dull ers move, so we can buy them out and redesign their mouths to deter them from the regular, you said it sir, sedative set in our registers as we slept in her only to learn crawl words cruel, only to walk her to her gaudy stool, only to realize the God we trust is the God we rule, is the God we grew from like prophets from God's igloo, because it's cool when you know what's causing your problems, but it's great to be liberated enough to solve them, as if anything's ever been that free or fallen. Free wheels, dollar bills, proper power heals all of them. Views. Yeah, so me reading this late at night, couple words, stumble mumble here and there, no biggie. But we're working towards something. I was, in the process. I use God a lot more than in my work before I realized that God is a great word because we give it power. You know what I'm saying? But dogma, I am God. That whole flip when I looked in the mirror, I was just make me want to use the word love, and I've replaced God with love at this point in my life. But that's where I was when I wrote these things. Anyway, I went to Ohio State, the Ohio State University, for a year and a quarter. Did pretty well, had some amazing teachers. Major shout out to Dr. Bradley Hammer, Dr. Vanna Gavaskar, beautiful people, from two totally different places in the world. One Sanskrit born, one Jewish born, and throughout my life I've learned that no matter where people come from, the same basic, simplest form, love recognizes love, respect recognizes respect, the whole nine, real recognizes real. You know how that cliche goes, but it's true. And so I feel like love is at the top of the food chain when we truly give it the power, and from all that, respect and all the other good powers come from that. And when you love what you're thinking, love what you're doing, you love how you're feeling, you love the moments that you're in, that you've been blessed with, there's really no stopping. But it's a real focus. It's a real discipline, because there's so much that can cause frustration and internal madness. And we've been playing this game for a long time, so I ain't tripping off any of it right now. But I figured I'd share, since there are steps that are taken to get to certain places, and where I am right now is, yeah, I've seen the mountaintop. I've seen a planet where everybody is at peace and at one, So that's in a whole nother dimension at this point, because clearly, we got work to do on this one, but I believe that we can do the work. But I'm just one person, so one little powerhouse. It's going to take, like Jay-Z said, what up, Will? Shout out to O. We going to need 1 billion more. He said 1 million. I said 1 billion. Actually, I don't usually say million or billion. I usually say alien. I just take off the front, because an alien is like, that's like infinity. You know what I'm saying? Alien style. Anyway,